I'm Sarah. I'm 15 now, and I come from a pretty wealthy family in Florida. My dad, by hook or by crook, ran his own business, which made half the town hate him, and the other half work for him. One day, he got sued for not paying his taxes, but somehow he managed to get away with it. And after that, he became an even more arrogant asshole. I was coming out of school one day. A black minivan pulled up and two black-clad figures grabbed me and pushed me in the van. "I'm kidnapped," it went through my head, but I wasn't really scared, to be honest. One of the kidnappers jumped into the front seat, started the car, and we sped away. The other one was sitting next to me. He was wearing a mask, but I noticed that he had very beautiful eyes. Half an hour later, the driver stopped the van. They blindfolded me, took me under my arms, and led me, as it turned out, to some small cellar. There was a mattress and a pillow on the floor and a small chair in the corner. "I'm sorry we had to do that to you," said in a soft voice the guy who was sitting next to me in the minivan. "Do you want some water?" I nodded in response. He sat down next to me on the mattress and took off his mask. "I'm Donnie, by the way," he said quietly to me, "and I know who you are, and you're here now because of your father. I'm going to demand a ransom for you because your father owes big my family. My father is a terrible man." Donnie looked at me in surprise. "Really? Wow, so you and I both think the same." I nodded. "Your father wanted to buy my family's store, but when our family turned down the deal, he set the building on fire and burned it down. Now we can barely make ends meet to live on." I looked at Donnie. I was so ashamed of my father, so I decided to help the guy. "Donnie, I'm afraid my dad won't pay the ransom for me. I'm not that important to him. He'll spare the money. But I have a plan to help you." Donnie looked at me in surprise and smiled. "You're gonna help someone who kidnapped you? Sarah, you're amazing, girl." And those words made me feel so good. I told Donnie that we were going to sneak into my house at night. I know the password to the alarm, and I know where my dad keeps his money. We take everything we can carry and split the money 50-50. Are you in? Donnie and I shook hands and waited for the night to come. It was getting chilly in the basement, and I was lightly dressed. "Donnie, can I sit closer to you? I'm cold." Donnie moved in and put his arms around me. I closed my eyes. I wanted this moment to last forever. Before I continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you click on the bell, so you'll know when there's a new video coming out on the channel. And as soon as it hit midnight, we tiptoed into my house. Everyone was asleep. We broke into my father's office and I typed in the password and opened the safe. It was stuffed to the top with money. After filling 2 bags with cash, we went out into the hallway. But then my dog started barking. "Damn it, Piper, be quiet, be quiet." But the dog continued barking happily after noticing me. Immediately the light came on and my father ran down from the 2nd floor. "Oh, that's it. You decided to steal from your own father? I'll send you behind bars, both of you," Dad yelled. Donnie reacted quickly. He pushed my father to the ground and with the duct tape he had in his pocket, taped his mouth and hands together. I locked Bifer in the kitchen and we ran off with bags full of money. In the basement, we counted our catch. "Wow, that's almost $600,000. Donnie was shocked. We split it evenly, just like we'd agreed. Donnie gave some of his money to the family to help grow the business. And I decided to leave town and start over. "I want to go with you, Sarah," Donnie whispered and hugged me tight. We hugged, got on the first bus we could find, and drove to my aunt's house in Nevada. Upon arrival, I called my mom and told her everything. Turns out she'd slept over at a friend's house that night and didn't know what happened between me and my dad, but she whispered that Dad was looking for me. "Don't worry, daughter. I won't let him hurt you. He won't harm you." A couple of days later, I read in the papers that Dad was being accused of a pretty big case involving fake money. And there's irrefutable evidence of his guilt. "Thank you, Mommy," I whispered joyfully and realized that I could breathe out now. My father wouldn't be ruining my life anymore, at least not anytime soon. And Donnie and I sometimes remember the story of how he kidnapped me and how our relationship with him started. What do you think of the story? Write in the comments. I'm very curious.